Hey, what is going on, crypto people? Happy Tuesday. God, me. Happy Tuesday to each and every one of you. I think it's Tuesday. What an exciting time to be early adopting this new asset class that it's a digital asset space. You and I, we're playing a game that 99.99% of the masses, well, they don't even know it's being played. And we are winning. Listen, how to enter, how to choose and enter liquidity pools on Flare networks using SparkDex. Big fan of SparkDex. Going to show you guys how to do that, kind of give you my criteria that I use for choosing and entering into liquidity pool. We'll go over that. What is a personal delegation account? For a network's office, this personal delegation account. Did you know that, Keyston? Keyston, did you know that? Yeah. Is it Keyston or Keston? Did you know that? Yes, interesting. I use it for a little bit. I'm going to withdraw my wrap flare out of there and um, and kind of do that thing. So yeah, I'm going to withdraw it out of the PDA account just to show you that I had it in there, had some in there. That's fine. And that kind of deal. Devon, Steve, what's going on, bro? How are you? How are you? It's been a minute, my guy. It's been a minute. Alex Yeet is in the building. What's going on, bro? The Blue Ranchers are here. The Blue Ranchers are here, family. Life is good. So we'll get into that, the PDA account. As well. We'll go over some stuff on X about Flare Networks for sure. Uh, Still waiting on Ripple X to, win liquidity incentive event for the XRPL. I think Vet mentioned that one of the fixes to the AMM amendment did get approved. So now we got this little 2 week thing, little 2 weeks to get some stuff done. So we'll see how that is as well. Market is doing what the freaking market does. We'll go over the numbers. Not really much to report there. Interesting stuff. Another I don't what do you Dex? Another Dex is coming on Flare. I don't so it's a new one, you know. Uh I won't be hanging out there anytime soon, but it's a new one. So it's just it kind of shows it shows the growth and the network adoption on Flare networks. I think that's important. So another DEX is launching. It's in beta. Um, so maybe we'll check that out because it's beta. Maybe we'll help them out with some transactions, see how that goes. Help them to stress test, workload, all that kind of stuff. Get their features and their buttons right. Maybe we'll help them do that. But I do think that points to more adoption, more people coming to build on Flare networks. And that's pretty cool. That is really, really, really cool, right? Oh man. What else we got going on? I had a chance to vote in the Solana ecosystem, so that was cool. XRPL Commons, I'll cover what they got going on. And then we'll share some Flare Networks news as well from X. So that'll be pretty cool. And then I have to get to the gym. Someone's asking for my business opinion on something. I gotta watch some stuff and give them my 2 cents business sense. So so life is good. So we'll do that as well. We'll do that as well, man. I appreciate you guys checking in. Do me a favor, hit that like button on the way in. That'll be super, super cool. We always like, how we do. We always like to have just as many likes as we got viewers in the stream. Hydro says my minting and redeeming has not been working. Yeah. And have you done all that you can do? Different browsers, disconnecting, reconnecting, refreshing the browser. If you've done that, then it's kind of on Flare, right? And this is all still beta, right? We still got to remember that it is all still beta, right? What's going on, Legendary? Another Blue Renters checking in. How are you, bro? All right, so let's do this. Let's go over these numbers real quick. Let's go over these numbers real quick on CoinGecko. Did I refresh CoinGecko? What do I want to share? Opera. All right, let's see here. Devon Steve says, I'm using an iPad. Had to take a strangled route to load up the DApp. Is that right? All right, so we're gonna go to CoinGecko and see what's going on with this freaking market. Uh, I should have bought that BTC when it was 54. I didn't. Oh yeah, I'm gonna make that move today as well. I'm gonna leverage the opportunity to borrow at 5%. I'm gonna do that. No credit checks, no whatever, no whatever. I'm gonna leverage my dividend paying um financial asset dividend paying policy, borrow against it at 5%. I'm gonna get 90% in BTC and 10% in some other stuff. And yeah, I'm going to do that. And then what I'm going to do is track it from September to September, uh, pay back at 7, 8, 10%, depends on what it is. And by doing that, so because I'm going to get 40% on my BTC, right? Right, 40, 50%. Uh, that type of deal. And then I'm going to pay it back. And what you do is you build up, you get to build up capital. It's a nice way to build up capital. And what you do is you're increasing the overall strength and value of that dividend policy by doing that. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, right? The key to becoming your own banker is figuring out strategies to use the dividend paying policy. You got to figure out strategies to use it. So, now you got to put it to work, in other words. So I'm going to do that today. I was supposed to do it this morning. But anyway, let me refresh this again. So I'm going to share that journey with you guys. It's going to be super, super cool. You guys will be here a year from now, right? Right? One of the greatest lessons ever taught in business is resolve and commit to be here a year from now. One of the greatest uh, principles ever. Engaged, be here a year now, engaged with daily activity. It's pretty cool. All right. So according to CoinGecko, the total cryptocurrency market cap is 2.11 trillion. Bitcoin dominance is roughly 54%. Bitcoin is trading at $57,105 again. And on a 30-day, it's down 5.1%. Ethereum is trading at $2,350 again. And on the 30-day, it's down 10%. Solana is trading at $135. Man, it was just under 130. And on the 30-day, it is down 9%. XRP is trading at 53 cents. On the 30-day, it's down 5.8%. The market, fam, is just doing what the freaking market does. We've been ranging for a minute now, just ranging sideways, nothing really significant to report. Yeah, if I would have got fed a month ago when we was talking about, getting a better AI play, I'd be up 50%. 50%. Yeah, I did not make a play there. Did not. Um, I did not make a play. I did not make a play at all. 30 days. Let me see something. Let me check out a couple stuff. Let me check out a couple of things just because what number is it's not even okay, yeah, 33%. 1 cent in March. Yep. Let's see. What was the other one? Those high risk AI plays. Yeah, yeah. Oh, wow. Hmm, hmm. Okay. So I was just checking something out there. Just checking something out there. All right. So there it is, right? CoinGecko. I mean, the market again is just, it's just doing what the market does, right? Let's go to Banner Bubbles. See what is outpacing Bitcoin year to date. It's important, I think, to note. Let's see if let me refresh that, make sure that's correct. Yep, look at mantra. Okay, so these things over here are year to date. We got to set a year, and we got price at BTC outperforming BTC year to date. Sats is a BTC. I don't know if that's it's a BTC play. It's called Sats. Mantra 2,461% up year to date. Bonk meme coin. Brett meme coin. Bonk is on Solana. Brett is on base. Look at that. 8,564%. 84.6x, somewhere around there. 84x with meme coin on Solana. 200 and wait a minute. Is that if that's 85, it's 250. X. Congrats to those. Crazy stuff. Floki down here at the bottom right, meme coin. So the narratives, I always do this here to let people know, hey, look, my thesis is that things that are outperforming Bitcoin, even if it's 10% or 40% or 50%, especially 100%, probably will continue to outpace Bitcoin in the next 12, 14 months, right? To the end of 2025. So that's kind of my thesis. Yeah, so that's kind of my thesis. And so I always look to see, well, what do you have that's currently outpacing it? And by the way, this is just in the top 100 in market cap, outpacing Bitcoin. I like bannerbubbles.com, and this it's free to use, and you can do this here. You go to your settings. Is this settings? Or is this the settings? You go to settings here, and you just select the currency to BTC, and you can track it that way. Really like it. But you can also, okay, that's weird. You can also not only search the top 100, you can search it by particular categories as well. But let's go with the top 100. Narratives are meme coins, AI, and gaming. The top narratives, meme coins, AI, gaming, RWAs. Those are kind of the top narratives. If you can catch an L1, then you're pretty lucky to do that. So anyway, there they are there. I covered another meme coin, Pepe, 368%. I'm only going to cover 100% or more. Arweave is an AI play, file storage AI, 126%. Fetch, super artificial intelligence, is 3 products combined into one, 160%. And I always say, I'd look to see if I might own some of these. Helium Network here, 162%. Undeniable that it's just undeniable. It's an Internet of Things play. It's they got some subsets to it, which is Helium Mobile and some other things. Look, kind of is what it is. I don't know if it's too late to get into it. I don't really know. I didn't take a play here, but boy, oh boy, are they out there in the Web 2 space with Web 3 technology killing the game. They really, really are. It's interesting to see that. We've gone 100% or more. 100% or more. Solana down here, 239%. Right? So we own Solana. Jasmine at 151%. We own some Jasmine. Ondo at 104%. We own Ondo. I mean, that's pretty cool to have 3 out of the top 100. Ordi, Bitcoin play, 343% year to date versus Bitcoin. That's pretty good, right? Did I miss any over here? Did I miss any over here? And again, maybe check to see if you own some of that stuff. I don't know why M Solana is not on here, but if Solana is, Marinate Solana should be on here as well. I don't know why they're not showing it, but yeah, but you can also go here and from the top 100, you can go to ecosystems, you can go to narratives. So you could check the Solana ecosystem. How many plays in Solana are outpacing Bitcoin? You can go to Base. You can go to Aptos, and see. I have a feeling if you check Cosmos, it probably wouldn't be any in there. All right. All right. So I don't know what ZIG is. Interesting. I didn't know the fetch thing was considered Cosmos. There's Flix at 114%. Interesting. Mantra is a Cosmos SDK play. And then it's this AIOZ. I don't know. Do you like the Cosmos ecosystem? And if you do you have any of those? Still got 14 months. What are we in? September, October, November, December of play. You still got, 14, 15 months of. In any case, but most of the Cosmos stuff, right, not doing too well as compared to Bitcoin. So we got 100% or more. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? I kind of like that. If we pick another ecosystem, let's choose Solana. Solana at 100% or more. I don't even know these. I'm guessing these are meme coins here. FWOG, 392%. POX, 1,000%. W, 717%. Checks, 409%. My guess is these are all those ones I just mentioned, 1, 2, 3, 4, are meme coins, my guess. But what you look here at just 100% or more in the Solana ecosystem, that's quite a bit. Let me count the numbers. 100% or more. 1, 2, 3. How do I count this the right way? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, honey, 18, mule, 19. I didn't even know Drift had a token. I should have known that. I was airdrop farming on Drift. Just look right now. Are these meme coins in here? Yes. Are there other plays in here? Yes. Gnosis is not meme coin. I don't know what Giga is, right? So, and I don't know what NPC is. Let me see some. What is NPC? Non-playable coin. Non-playable coin. All right, let's see if this is a meme or not. Can I click about? It's not letting me do about. So I don't know what that one is. And every time I freaking click this thing messes up, which is a pain in the ass. Let's refresh it so we can get back to it. But interesting. And this is definitely the Banner Bubble site that is the issue here. A lot of meme coins. And then there are regulars. I didn't even know Radium year to date was outperforming Bitcoin. Radium is an OG exchange. Oh my God. I didn't even know that. But anyway, that's just some play around there and, check that thesis. You can say, hey, Siege, that thesis, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make any sense. Or you can say maybe it does. But it's a lot of meme coins here. I don't know what Zig and Mother is, but I do know what is this right here? I can't click on it because it'll mess up. So let me show you the ones that I know that are not meme coins. Drift Protocol, 445%. Nos, 7,192%. HNT, we shared that. Helium Mobile, Helium Network, ATR. I don't know what Mu, Ponky that feels like. So here's mobile, 184%. Here's Radium, here's Solana. So that's 1, 2, that's 3 there. These are not meme coins. Honey is not a meme coin. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Not meme coins. 5. Not meme coins. Which Michi? What? Which Michi is 237%? That's a meme coin. I have Michi. Anyway, Myro, not meme coin. But that's a big, right? That's a big thing. But you can go in here and check it out for yourself and see if you have any of those kind of plays, right? All right, let me get to the chat, and then we're going to go over some of this, how to enter and choose liquidity pools. Let's welcome the fam to the channel. Whoever came in. Bubba Smith's in the building. What's good, my friend? It's been a while for me. How are you doing, Bubba? All right, let's do this live chat. Mope is another meme that might pop soon. Legendary said, I got in early with Pox. Nice, bro. Nice. Alex G says, are a million flares okay? Feels like it. You guys are killing me. I don't have a million. But 2026, babe, look out for Crypto Siege. 2026, look out, babe. I will be on the... I'm about 60% to the decision to four-figure dollar cost average flare in 2026. I'm 65% there with that decision. I can't do it now. I got to shore up some positions that I'm in, but I got to keep them safe until we're out of this range and we're doing our thing. But 2026 for sure. All right. So anybody, did I miss anyone checking it? Yeah, Anders. I missed Anders. What's going on, Anders? How are you, bro? Anders says, watch out for Jewel, folks. We'll blow a lot of ecosystem coins in the flare fund. Why? Tell me your thoughts on Jewel, Anders, because I'm not sold yet. Help me out. Why are you big on the Jewel token? Help us all out. And I appreciate you checking in, my friend. Rick is in the building. Hey, C, it's always a pleasure to hear your channel. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you being here. All right. So let me make sure I go over stuff. So I had everything in order. Okay, there we go. Let's start sharing. So hopefully Anders will share with us why he's big on Jewel. That would be cool before we get into these liquidity pairs. And can't be just about APR. It's got to be something else. Tell me what you know about that asset, bro. Tell us what you know. All right. So Tico Tawar reminds us, do not get caught up in price fluctuations. What really matters is adoption. I think it's just hugely important for people to get the playbook, the game plan is laid out. It has been established. It's network adoption going up the network. It's going up the adoption curve. You know, it's a combination of daily active users, right? All in on growing the network, creating network adoption, thus creating a demand for the native asset of your blockchain. Take a listen.
This is all you need to know to make a fortune. I don't rely on the price action to tell me what I should think about my investment. I focus on the most important driver of value when it comes to Bitcoin, and that's adoption. Is adoption increasing or is it decreasing? Are there more people coming to the ecosystem or less people? If there are more people coming to the ecosystem, Bitcoin's going to rally. Then F's going to rally. And then the altcoins are going to rally. This is all you need to know to make a fortune from these assets, especially during times like this when people are running around scared with their, like a chicken with their head chopped off. They are not looking at what truly drives value in this asset and its adoption.
I don't know. I mean, this is a former Wall Street. I think he was like the youngest ever at either Goldman's or the other one, Shearson. I can't remember which one. Julian Patel reminds us, hang in there, bulls. It felt like an eternity trapped in the boring zone. But there's finally some light at the end of the tunnel. Liquidity is on the rise again. And Bitcoin, being extremely sensitive to changes in liquidity conditions, has the potential to move explosively as fresh liquidity flows into the system. The macro environment is shifting. A major liquidity wave is now on the horizon. And when it hits, Bitcoin looks primed for a strong push higher in Q4. Patience is the name of the game. Who was I listening? Oh, my guy, Virtual Bacon shared something I want to share with you guys as well. This is so hugely, massively important. And let me do it now before I forget. So again, Julian Patel, he's the head of macro research at Global Macro Investor, the most successful financial newsletter. Raoul Paul's thing. The billionaires subscribe and pay to get his macro view. The most successful. Not the most successful in terms of people spending money to get it. The most successful in calls and plays and that. Most successful. The student's head of the research there. I don't know. An important voice to tune into. I don't know. What do you think? Right. So, but let me share something that I think is my guy Virtual Bacon shared that I think is massively important to understand here. There's my guy Lucas educating the masses. Should I just search Virtual Bacon? I think I'll just search it because I think that was, oh, here it is right here.
Looking at this the wrong way, especially if you're not experienced. Whether we drop to 45K, 48K, 43K or not is not important. Most of us that are still here should be believing for Bitcoin to have a bull run eventually. That's why this last period of chop before the real bull run starts is the most dangerous, especially when you look at the last two cycles.
Highly recommend you guys check this video out, but let me go to the part that I want you guys to listen to. The 10x upside of crypto in 2025. Let's go here.
So I just want to leave you guys with this. We don't need to worry about this drop. The downside here is so limited because not only is Bitcoin basically nearing like the last maybe 16, 17% drawdown to this next leg, to this next support zone, because this will be the 100-week exponential moving average. This will be the lower support zone. This will also be the VPVR, the high volume node. The Fibonacci level agrees. So this level is not a break. And even if we go here, it will be a wick. It will be a short wick, a short period wick. So this is the final stretch. As long as you survive this, you don't need to worry about anything else after. And even though this could happen, again, you got to remember, this is not guaranteed to happen. Just give it a toss up and be prepared in case this happens. And that's why the 4 action points, I think, is actually very important, is what you need to focus on. Instead of trying to decide if this will happen or not. And then once we survive this, what's next? The upside potential is massive from this point. We have institutional adoption. BlackRock is literally buying Bitcoin and Ethereum. We have rate cut cycle going to happen for sure, at least for 15 months, potentially longer going into 2026. So we know with high probability, very, very high probability, we'll have a bull run. And look at how long this chop has lasted. Look at this painful period. March 14th marked the top. We are now at September 7th. We will be going into the 6th month of chop. The longer the chop, the higher the upside after. And especially if we get a wick down like this, and all the people that don't follow our advice get themselves wrecked on this last wick down, after that, the revenge rally, like this is not exaggerated. This is not exaggerated. I just drew a random line, but look at this. This seems kind of crazy, but what is this level? 130K? By, actually that's end of 2024, yeah. So by end of 2025, will Bitcoin not trade above 100K? I don't think so. No, I think most people can agree Bitcoin is going above 100K. And my actual targets, my expectations for Bitcoin to go much higher to at least 200K average for my exit in this bull run. 200K Bitcoin gives us about a $4 trillion market cap. And with the current Bitcoin dominance, that gives us like nearly $8 to $9 trillion in total market cap for the entire crypto, which means if most altcoins just remain at their current percentage dominance, how much they take up of the total market cap, all of the other altcoins are going to go ballistic. If Bitcoin goes to even just 100K and break that psychological barrier, there will be so many strong altcoins in the mid to large caps that do more than 10x. We have already seen this at a much smaller scale since last November. Remember here, October 23rd, 2023. Let me remove all the drawings here. October 2023, right here. This is when Bitcoin, the ETF was essentially like pretty much guaranteed to happen. And then over the next 5 months, Bitcoin rallied for 2.5x from 27K to 73K. What did strong altcoins do? The strongest gaming altcoins, Super, Beam, Prime, these all did more than 10x already. Strongest AI coins, BitTensor, Fetch, like Render, Arweave, Near, these did crazy amount. Look at this. This is the chart of Near from October last year. From here to the top, 7x gain. Look at this. I'm just literally bringing up random charts. Arweave on my watch list as well from October to the peak. 11x. See this? More than 1,000% gain. Super. Here we go. This is the crazy one. October to here. 18x. This is only on Bitcoin doing a 2.5x. If Bitcoin goes from here back up again after a wick like this, after such a long consolidation, after such a long chop, just reaches 100K. Altcoins, the strongest altcoins in those sectors I talk about, will do 10x. And if Bitcoin goes to 150, 200K, we should be able to see even like mid to large caps doing 20x. And that's the real kicker here. And also what's important to note is there is the exponential effect when Bitcoin grows. Because most people don't understand this. When Bitcoin grows from 27K to 73K. Sure, that's a 2.5x gain. 160% gain, but that's a 2.5x in price. But the actual liquidity amount is what? Is 48K of difference in price times the supply of Bitcoin, which is
20 million.
Just about 1 trillion. $1 trillion
$1 trillion
increase in market cap on Bitcoin from this point until this point. But if Bitcoin can go from current 55K to similar 160% gain to 140K, that's a much bigger market cap gain. Why? Because this difference in price is $90,000 per coin. And when you take $90,000 times 20 million circulating supply of Bitcoin by the end of the bull run, that is 1.8 trillion. So even though it's same percentage gain in this run versus this run, the actual wealth effect that Bitcoin's increase in this later stage of the bull run will bring much bigger liquidity to the altcoin market. Because essentially what you'll see is on CoinMarketCap, right now you have market cap of Bitcoin at 1 trillion. And this is from from 27K, it was like 500 million. 500 billion to 1 trillion. But once Bitcoin goes to 150K, this number all of a sudden becomes 3 trillion. That's another $2 trillion of market cap increase here. How much of that will flow into altcoins?
Yep.
And when those larger liquidity flow into altcoins, it no longer will be just a 2.5x gain in Bitcoin translating to a 10x gain in AI and gaming altcoins. Instead, it's a $2 trillion gain of Bitcoin's market cap, and that can easily translate to 20x gain in AI and gaming altcoins and all the popular narratives.
That's the big picture, fam. That's the big picture. Again, I think it's hugely important to understand that it's important for us, right, as investors on a journey to becoming a sophisticated investor, that we're able to pop our head outside of the XRPL bubble and take a look around and do what my mentor always suggests to me, which is to find a voice of value, tune in, and stay for a while. That was an hour-long live stream. I listened to every second. It's hugely important. And it's not because you follow everything. It's for you to get information in so that you can learn to apply the principle of discernment and find out what's valuable to you, what's not so valuable to you, what makes sense to you, what doesn't make sense to you, right? Listen to Gary Cardone today while I was walking, right? Again, finding voices of value, tune in and stay for a while. It's hugely important. What's going on, Pookie? Pookie's in the building. How are you, my friends? Callie Cat says, always a good afternoon when Siege goes live. Thank you, my friend. Your insight is much appreciated, sir. Appreciate you being here, bro. Or my friend, I should say. Hydro 100, you guys are talking amongst yourselves, looks like. Yep. And did I miss anyone else checking in? Jungle Link's in the building. What's good, my friend? Jungle, did you catch that part from my guy Virtual Bacon? Did you catch that part? ISO 200 must be implemented by money transmitters before they're 25. That's why I think that. Okay, got it. All right, you guys are talking amongst yourselves. Very cool. Appreciate you guys checking in. Jungle Link's in the building, fam. Say what's up to Jungle. So, again, that's hugely important. Now, Jungle says, was listening while I was driving. Awesome, bro. Appreciate you being here. So here's the deal, man. We're going to talk about why, how to choose a liquidity pool and how to enter liquidity pools on Flare. I'm going to show you, let me briefly go over this personal delegation account. Jungle, were you familiar Are you familiar with Flare Network's personal delegation account? They have a personal delegation account. I freaking love it. It's interesting. I did it for one little series just to see how it goes, how it went, whatever. Personal delegation account. I'm going to go over this quickly, and then we're going to get into how to enter and choose liquidity pools on freaking Flare. Okay, so there it is. There, let me share. Share the screen. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do that. All right, so I did it. I was sharing with my guy Steve that I did it. I wanted to know if he knew much about it. We had a little back and forth messaging, and so I did it. It's a personal delegation account. You can find out what it is, but essentially right here by hitting the help button. So you got to go to portal.flare.network, and you just mouse over or click on delegation account. And if you want to know what it is and kind of give you a sense of what it is, you just click on the help here. For me, what it feels like it's a way to kind of navigate taxes. When I mean navigate, if you're getting flare drops, if you're getting this other kind of stuff, understand that that's going to be counted as income in a lot of jurisdictions like the US. And with a personal delegation account, you can house it in an account that's not your main account. And that income is essentially not something that has to be accounted for because it's in a personal delegation account. So, which is pretty cool. So I just did it for this particular little 30 days or whatever it was, just to see when I get my drops or when I get whatever coming in, how it's going to look and how it's going to set up and stuff like that. You can turn it on and off from this portal.flare.network, or you can do it from the Bifrost app. So I just did it to just kind of see what it was, what is good and whatever. And just to let you guys know. So you can hit this help button and it'll answer kind of questions for you, what you can do, what you can't do with this PDA account. Okay. Which is pretty good. You can still delegate from here. I think you can delegate. And if you want to vote, you can't vote, but you can delegate your voting power to another account. And that account is your main account. You can use your main account. So you can delegate to your main account. Okay. So this account address right here is my PDA account. It's not my main account. So if I wanted to delegate my votes, I could delegate it to my main account, right? One of my main wallets, right? You could do that. And then if you wanted to vote type of deal. But, see, it says here's governance votes, delegation, none. You can transfer your votes. You hit transfer votes, and then you would just copy your main account and put it there to transfer their votes. So I like the maneuvering behind it. It feels big picture to me. It feels, with this PDA account, it feels, I don't want to say whales, but it does feel big account type deal. Okay, so I'm going to navigate a PDA account for 12 months in 2025. Okay, maybe I won't have the PDA account in 2026. 2026, maybe I'm prepared now to do more things for my tax estate fund account. That's what it feels like to me. And I feel like there's probably some strategies around the delegation account, some strategies around when you want to have one, perhaps when you don't want to have them, et cetera, et cetera. And you can have it for 30 days and don't have it. You can have it for 60 days and then you don't have it, right? You can enable and disable type of deal. So I kind of like that flexibility, and I really love that the team over at Flare thought about such an account. So I'm gonna withdraw it because I changed from staking back to delegating today. I was supposed to do it like 2 days ago, but I changed from staking back to delegating. I just feel like there's a little bit more flexibility, especially especially with the DeFi going on the Flare network. So let me withdraw this. I'm doing this live, so I don't know what it's going to look like when I do withdraw. I'm going to just do all this little thing here. Scan. Okay, so let's do that. Confirm, withdraw. Yep. It was 18 or whatever, right? Yep. Yeah. And so that withdraws to your main account. So I do like that. I really, really do like that they got that set up. Let me know if you guys have used this and have you come up with any ideas or strategies or reasons why you would want to use it. All right, I shared that already with you guys. All right, so let's go into SparkDex, how to enter and choose liquidity pools. You guys know already, I'm a big fan of SparkDex. What I'm going to do is I'm going to connect with MetaMask first, just to kind of discuss different pools and things, and then I'll connect with another wallet. Did Anders give us his kind of reasoning for why Jewel token? Is Anders, are you still here, bro? I don't think we got anything from Anders, man. That would have been nice to hear from him. Jungle said, I heard about the PDA account from either myself or someone else, but I haven't done it or played with it. I got you, my friend. It's an interesting little thing there. It really is. But Anders didn't give us kind of any feedback on the Jewel token. Jungle, are you familiar with the Jewel token on Flare from Kinetic Markets? Are you familiar with what does this say? Somebody said high infinite banking. Oh, Hydro says infinite banking concept. Yes, sir. Kind of an infinite banking. I mean, this is from the original, right? The original infinite banking concept, right? Right. How to become your own banker by RW. Is it RW Nash? Nelson Nash, right? I always forget his name. I think it's R. Nelson Nash, something like that. I forget his name. From the OG, right? From the OG. I suspect if you have the ability to pull from the PDA, it's still going to be taxable due to constructive receipt. Constructive receipt. If you have to choose to receive a bonus in 24 or 25, even if you push, it's taxable now. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I definitely got it. And so, if you have the ability to pull from it, yeah. So I know what you can do. You can withdraw to your main account, and so now it's in the main account. Okay, so you can withdraw. And you can't be like liquidity stuff. You can't do right. You can withdraw to your main account, and then you can go do stuff. You can vote by delegating your votes, but like you can't be in like an activity. Can't be like in some kind of activity. You can't stake. You can't provide liquidity. You can't any of that stuff, which is very, very, very interesting. All right, so let's go over to SparkDex. I appreciate you guys checking in for sure. Guys, do me a favor, if you didn't hit the like button on the way in, would you please hit it, just collapse the chat right now. No worries, collapse the chat and go smash the like button. We always like to have just as many likes as we have viewers in the stream. What's going on, web zombies? So Anders didn't answer, hasn't responded yet as to why Jewel token. But we're going to go over to SparkDex and check it out. Can we do anything with bridging yet? No. So here are the farms on SparkDex, right? A lot of people are in on the SFLR and Jewel. Now, Legendary, just so you know, our guy, Steve, the real estate guy, who has his own YouTube channel, covers Flare in detail, he says you do not get the RFLR rewards for being in this pool. And I'm guessing that he's saying that because when you click on it, it says daily rewards is Jewel, 125,000. I'm guessing how you said it, but if you go to another pool, like the USDC T and WFLR, which we're going to talk about, it says the rewards are RFLR. So, right? So let me give you quickly kind of my thoughts for entering liquidity pools. Now, I'm a big fan of SparkDex. I think the UI UX is great. I think the features that they got here are great, especially for early on, for early days in a project, right? So a few things. Number one consideration, in my humble opinion, when you're entering a liquidity pool are the assets in the pair. So, for example, this SFLR and Jewel, you have to consider these assets. Do you find these assets to be valuable to you? What do you know about these assets? What do you know about SFLR? Right? The ins and outs of SFLR, not just the APY. What is the SFLR? Who's behind it? What do they got going on? Right? That type of deal. And then there's the Jewel token. What's the purpose of the Jewel token? What does it serve? Right? Who are the people behind Jewel token? Right? Understanding the assets is the number one thing. Question to ask yourself. If I have $1,000 in this liquidity pair and it goes 100% into Jewel token, would you be good with that? If it goes 100% into staked FLR or Scepter FLR, staked FLR, would you be good with that? That's like number one consideration. It's not about the APR. It's not about the APR. What if there was a meme coin here? And it's SFLR and a meme coin. You still good with you still in it because of the APR? And there's a possibility that you could be 100% into the meme, right? So for me, it's about the asset. The APR is my last consideration. It's my last consideration, because I'm into liquidity pools for long term, right? 9, 10, 12, 15 months is long term, right? I'm in the 7 to 9% a month thing, right? That's what I'm looking at. Are we gonna throw shade at 7 to 9% a month? I know we're spoiled over here in DeFi, in the digital asset space. Right. So that's kind of where I am in that 7 to 9% a month deal. Right. So the assets, the other consideration is the TVL. So let's go over the Flare metrics, the TVL, 24-hour volume. Let's go over the Flare metrics, and I'm going to go over my 6 things. All right. Well, let's find Flare metrics. This is going to help us with navigating the liquidity pools right here. Flaremetrics.io, man, we appreciate you guys. We appreciate the work that you guys have been putting in to give us intel, to give us data. Good jobs, my friend. I mean, really good. We appreciate you. Flaremetrics, they got this new thing over here. Flaremetrics.io/DeFi. And they have some, not all of the liquidity pairs going on Flare networks. Some, not all. Okay, for example, they do not have the SFLR and the Jewel yet. It says here kinetic supply emissions data coming soon. So that's good to know. But I'm gonna run through my 6 real quick, and then I'm gonna kind of point some stuff out here with the metrics that they have. The one thing I love about it is they got 24-hour volume, so it's hugely important. Number one, assets to consider, in my humble opinion. Got to consider the assets. Number one is the assets. This is in no particular order, but the assets for me are the most important. Number 2 is the TVL. The TVL. You know, I don't enter in outside of Flare. I don't enter into DeFi stuff unless it's 1 million in TVL. It's got to be 1 million or more. That's me. 200,000 is fine. It's a good foundational for new people getting started. But I don't like to enter in liquidity pools unless the TVL is at least 1 million or more. All right. So after TVL, there's the 24-hour volume, right? Hugely important. The 24-hour volume is a big indicator of people going in and out of the pool. Massively important. Why? Because one of the rewards you're going to be getting is the fees, right? Right? If there ain't a lot of if there's not a lot of 24-hour volume, it shows kind of a lack of interest for the pool, and you're not going to be making much on the fees, right? So assets, TVL, liquidity, 24-hour volume, right? Then I look at the project itself, right? Who is SparkDex? What is SparkDex? Right? Is this a new thing or OG, right? Massively important when you start deploying thousands of dollars, right? Massively important. When you start deploying thousands of dollars, are you going to be hanging around on a new thing? Right? That is important, right? It's important when it's okay when you're playing with $100 or a few $100. But when you begin to go into multiple Ks, you got to consider the platform. New, old, OG, no, right? What do you know about the people behind it? All that kind of stuff. You got to protect. You got to protect yourself, right? And then the other thing, of course, is the chain that it's on. Hugely important. Ethereum, you know, you got to consider the fees. You got to consider that. You got to consider the speed. It's important, right? So you got to consider the blockchain. Absolutely important to consider the blockchain. Then there's things you got to consider. Are you going to go into a concentrated liquidity pool, or are you going where the efficiency of your money can be capitalized better, or are you going to just go on a full range, hang out, and be in a big pool with everyone else? And you got to consider that as well. It's different strategies between a concentrated liquidity pool and a full range liquidity pool. There's different strategies and thought processes behind those. So now that I've gone over all of those things, again, for me, APR and fees, they're considerations, but they're not the predominant considerations. The ones I mentioned are the predominant considerations for me. So let's take a look at a couple that I thought about here. This USDT and wrapped FLR is one. And the other one is these two here, this WFLR and USDC. It's always important to note the first asset in these things here, because they navigate differently in terms of when the market's up or down. This USDT WFLR navigates different than if it was WFLR and USDT, right? There's a flip-flop in how they navigate. And what do I mean by that? In this particular pool, where the USDT is first, when FLR goes down in value, you get rolled into USDT. When WFLR goes up in value, you get rolled more insult to WFLR. But it's the exact opposite if WFLR is first and then USDC is second. It's 180 degrees. And I always sometimes get those confused on which one is which, but just understand that's how it goes. So you have to know, and that's one of the things I forgot to mention, is you got to know the trend going on in the liquidity pool. You want it to be kind of ranging and going up and to the right. right? Wasn't raising, kind of going up into the right type of deal. So I got to mention the trend. You want to follow the trend. And of course, correlation, but that's kind of an advanced strategy where you track the correlation of the assets to each other using DeFi Llama. So let's go over this one here. TVL is 211,000. The volume is 128,000. Right? It says here the APR is 62%. 62%. So that's 5% a month, roughly, right? So, and we got transactions per 24 hours. I really like that they have this here. So just note that as well. When I enter to the bigger liquidity pools, I like the 24-hour volume to at least match the TVL. To at least match it. It's not a game breaker if it doesn't, but I like it to at least match it. I have to consider that SparkDex, Blaze Swap, these things are relatively new, trying to attract and build up stuff. So I have to consider that it's relatively new. But ideally, I would like this 24-hour volume to match the TVL. So if it's not, and in none of these liquidity pools, that's the case. None of them match or exceed the TVL. None of them that are listed here. None of them. So the idea is the idea then is to let's choose the liquidity pairs that is close to matching it as humanly possible. And that's going to be about 50%, right? So can we find something that's going to be about half the TVL, right? And so this one here is that the fee tier is 0.05%. That's pretty good, right? It's pretty good. And the transactions per 24 hours is 678 with an APR of 62%. So this is a good one that I would consider and look into based on the trend of the market, which is ranging. And what do you think November of 2024 is going to be like? What do you think February of 2025 is going to be like? I would pick ranging and up, right? Ranging and up. So this is a good one that I like and I will consider for sure. I would prefer it to be WFLR first and Tether. And then Tether. That's what I would ultimately prefer, since I want the range to be ranging sideways and up. All right, so there's now this transactions per 24 hours is one of the biggest listed here. It's not the biggest, but I think that's such a really good metrics to have. 62% APR, 5% a month. Not a year, a month. Like current. Now, will it go up and down? Yes. But it will go up and down. It won't go just down. Right? Important to understand that. So that's a pretty good one. So that's close. That's more than 50% right there, right? That's a nice one to consider if you don't understand how to track the trend here. And if you understand how to check the correlation using DeFi Llama. All right, so another interesting one here is this WFLR USDC.E bridged, stablecoin, bridged USDC using Stargate, right? Now notice that the volume here is not 50% of the TVL. Just understand that. But check out the transactions. It's 1,147. It's almost, it's almost double, almost 1,147, right? Important. Why is that important? Because, the fee structure is the same. The TVL is more and the fee structure is the same, right? So this one would probably beat out this one a little bit. Got more TVL. 24-hour volume it's not 50%. But it's close to 50% here, even though this one is more than 50%. But you got 100,000 more TVL here. So for me, the WFLR bridge USDC is beating this one out. especially considering that the fee tier is the same. We got a lot of transactions going on here, right? APR is 4% a month, okay? As well. So something to consider. I love the transactions per 24 hours. I like that. So this one here on SparkDex is actually I don't know what happened there. What happened? Where was I at? Right here. So this one on SparkDex is actually a little bit better than the Blaze swap, even though the pairs are the same. The fee structure here is 0.3%. Okay, the TVL is more, but this volume, not great, man. This 24-hour volume, not so great. It kind of shows a lack of interest in this pool. Transactions is about a third, right? So kind of get that as well. It doesn't feel like it's a lot of people coming in and leaving, right? You want the people coming in and leaving because you're in for the long term. And this fee structure is interesting. So it's 0.3, so it's significantly higher than 0.05. But I personally would take this one with the 115 24-hour volume over this one with only 15,000. Okay, so right now we got WFLR USDC #1 on SparkDex. My #2 consideration would be this tethered WFLR, understanding that I really got to track this trend here. And then, so we got #1, #2. Now, here's another one to consider when I'm looking at. Here is the SFLR and the WFLR. My #1 consideration for this pool is thus. The SFLR and the WFLR is not something that I have to worry about being 100% in one or the other and feeling like, I really don't want to be in this asset, right? Right. The #1 consideration is the asset for me. I'm good with being 100% in wrapped FLR. I'm good with being 100% in SFLR, right? You understand? I'm good with either one of those. And by the way, it's FLR. It's essentially the same asset, right? Like Solana and Marinade Solana, like Solana and Jito Solana. Essentially, it's the same thing, right? So you don't have to be tracking something every single day, every single second or hour of a day to see if the correlation is not off, right? That to me is massively important, right? So this one I like a bunch. I like this a bunch. Fee tier is only 0.01, right? Not great. I would like it at least 0.03. That would have been nice. That would have been nice, right? So TVL is 250. The volume is 113, almost 50% there. And the transactions every 24 hours. Think about that with this TVL. It's 634. It's right up there with this one over here at the top left on SparkDex. So this was the first liquidity pair that I entered into on SparkDex. The APR, 27%. Again, these APRs, they go up and they go down, right? They go up and they go down. Yeah, it's probably #1 and #2 here. This one here, this WFLR USDC bridged, you have to pay attention to it. You have to check on your range. You got to make sure that you're in range. You gotta either go full range, which I would not, or begin to choose custom, aggressive, safe, etc., and navigate it that way, which is what I would do. And I'll show you that here in a second. So you could do a couple of things here. I would probably navigate 50%, 50% just for less stress, or 30%, 70% for less stress, something along that. You're gonna have to kind of pick your stress level. Again, having to check being in range or not range, that can be labor intensive, right? Right now, there's no notifications, there's no email, no text that you're in or out of range yet because this is fairly new, right? So you gotta, unlike with Orca or Turbos or something like that, where you can get notifications that you're in or out of range, right? So you gotta take that into consideration. I would take that into consideration, right? Am I trying to live my life, or am I having to, log in and check whether I'm in range or not? Because remember, you get out of range, you're not earning these fees and stuff like that. So those are the considerations. So let's go over to SparkDex here for a second here. I don't know if I have any liquidity on here anymore with my test wallet, but let's check it out. Do I have any? It says I have 2 here. This USDT WFLR. We'll see what happened here. Am I all in Tether now, or am I in WFLR? We'll check that. And obviously the SFLR, the WFLR, we'll see that as well. I put about the same amount, not very much, just $30, maybe $40. Not a whole lot. Checking these things out to see how they work, see how they navigate. You can see the rewards of both in the RFLR, which is my preferred reward is an RFLR. It's not for me. It's not the APR. That's just for me. If I was to get into this SFLR Jewel, I would be taking the Jewel rewards personally and swapping at least 50% out to what I consider the better asset to hold. That's just my assessment of the assets. There are some people who are going to be in the affiliate networks who grade the Jewel token higher than they grade the FLR token, right? So you got to have your own assessment of the assets. For me, I rate FLR higher than I do Jewel personally. So at a minimum, if I did any liquidity pool, me personally, not telling you guys what to do, I would take at least 50% of the rewards and go over here to swap. And I would swap out of the Jewel. That's me personally. That's just what I would do. Personally. Because of my assessment, my grade of the assets. That's right. I would do at least 50%. And with the 50% that I keep in Jewel, I would stake it. I guess get this key thing and navigate around the kinetic market kind of ecosystem there. I don't know if I'm providing liquidity. I don't know if I'm just staking, navigating around kinetics. So, but anyway, let's go to my little $20, $30, $40 pools here. And let's see what we got going on here. Look at that. It's only $31. Only $31 here. So it says 31 total, right? That's what it says, 31. All right. So what we got here, $8 in Tether, 23 is in this WFLR. Now, what's the other? So that's what we got going on there. Rewards doesn't look like there's a much. Current epoch rewards looks like 27 in total. So whenever you have an opportunity, you can go to portal.fluid.networks and see if those are available or not. I forget how often you can claim the RFLR. Is it once a month, twice a month? I don't remember. I do not remember. But that says 27 RFLR there, right? Let's check to see if it's available. I don't think it is. What's the time frame for these rewards? Is it once a month for the RFLR? I don't remember, honestly. Like I think I did that already, didn't I? Yeah. That should have been done already, I'm pretty sure. Let me do this. Refresh that. Yeah. Yeah. So, all All right, so let me do this. I don't think so, but let me get out of here. Let's disconnect. Let's do this. Go to our little test wallet. And let's see. Nope, nothing to claim, right? Nothing to claim yet there. Let me go here to SparkDex. Just a certain time a month. I can't remember what it is. So emissions, kinetic, SparkDex rather. All right, so there it is, nothing, right? So I'm just tracking that and seeing what's going on there. Let's look at this one here. Current epoch rewards 23 days, 17. Okay, well, that tells you what it is. 27 there. 25 bucks only in this liquidity pair. 25 bucks, that's it. In this liquidity pair. Got some SFLR, got some WFLR I can add or not there. So again, for me, let me look at this one again. This bridged one here looks kind of good. I'll have to check this one out in SparkDex. Kind of like this one here. I kind of like the asset being the foundational pair. Kind of like that one. 53%. That's pretty good. Yeah, so I kind of like that. So up to 29%, 30%, whatever. So there it is there, 12,000 RFLR. So I hope those that helps you a little bit. I'm trying to think. I like this WFLR USDE, this bridged one here. I really do like that. Let's see here. 313, 10% fees, 47% rewards. Yeah, I kind of like this one. 26,000 RFLR, 4% a month APR, almost 5%. Again, right? For me, I picked the liquidity pool pairs that I'm going to be in for 9 months, 10 months, 12 months, right? It's a long term, it's a long range, right? It's not 30 days chasing APRs and APYs and stuff like that. Not for me, right? Not for me. I look long term, long range. And first thing I'm considering, am I good with $1,000 in this liquidity pair and it all being USDC because of the trend or whatever, out of range, whatever happens? Am I good that 1,000% is in WFLR instead of right? Either one, I'm good, right? Either one, I'm good. So that's a good one for me. Again, new thing. I mean, it's going to be a while to get the stuff up to 1 million or more, right? Still get a chance to take advantage of the RFLR, which I just think is genius. I think it's genius in motion that these vest over 12 months. But again, this one, we're going to have to track correlation using DeFi Llama, right? We're going to have to track the correlation with the WFLR bridged USDC with the SFLR and WFLR. Yeah, right. Right. So how are you trying to live your life? Right. How are you trying to live your life? So it's something to consider because right now you don't get notifications. So I would probably split something up 30, 70, 40, 60, maybe 50, 50. Because me personally, I don't like, having to track it track it. I mean, the market moves, right? So I don't have to be tracking this range thing. Now, if you're good with hopping on SparkDex and checking to see if you're in range, every day or, 2 or 3 times a day, then that WFLR bridge USDCE, for me, that's nice. Again, I don't want this to come across that I'm throwing shade on the Jewel token. I am not. What I'm saying is I don't grade it as high as the as FLR, as Flare. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. I don't grade it, right? Right. I mean, anything I can do with Jewel, I can do with FLR. And if I had to grade one, I would pick the FLR with the higher grade. All right. All right. So what we got going on here? Oh, my guy is in the building. Small business doctors. What's going on, bro? All right. Let me check the chat, see if this stuff makes sense to you guys. If you got any questions, let me know. Anyone here feel like they need a step-by-step just to enter the liquidity pool? I'll take like 100 FLR or something to just kind of show you. Anyone feel like they need a step-by-step? I got FLR. I want to go from FLR into liquidity pools step-by-step. Let me know in the chat if you guys are any of those, if anyone needs that, and I will do that. I think Keston said that. Keston Sinclair says, teach me. So maybe I'll do that. I will do that for Keston. Keston, are you still here, bro? All right. Small Business Doctor says, Siege, watch that RainDex AMA today with Scepter. What time is that coming on? You will be able to set it to automatic trading for you, FYI. It's smart trading 101. Yeah. Talking about that Ring thing, right? You can also set it to copy someone else's trades as well. Yeah, I am very, very curious about that. GTAI protocol has something where you can copy that trading as well. So yeah, let me see. That's interesting. Hydro, I'm in the says I'm in the SFLR Jewel pool. Put in 6 3 days ago, and now it shows rewards of 22. Shows rewards of 22 cents. Okay. $6 in, got 22 cents in rewards. That's not bad. Bank money XRP. So what is the difference in ranges? What does it mean? What's the difference in ranges and what does it mean? Okay, I'll share that with you. I'll put some liquidity in and show you. David Stanley says it would be nice if AI could do this for you. Yeah. Bank money XRP, I did full range. Was that bad? No, sir, that was not bad. That's smart and conservative. It's smart and conservative with the full range. It's less risk. It's less mind share in terms of tracking and all that kind of stuff like that. It's just a full range. It's a little bit less efficient utilization of your capital, and at times you can be sharing more with more people. Like you could be sharing in that with more people. Most people put full range because they don't have the skills for custom ranges or aggressive, safe, whatever. So no, it's not bad that you did that. It's when I started out in just full range liquidity pools, just as a learning thing. David Stanley says, thanks, Doc. So bank money XRP, I hope you got that. Legendary says long-term FLR. In my opinion, Jewel has a better short-term upside. Yes. 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 Small Business Doctor said it happened already, was earlier today. Yes, wrangling. Okay, thank you, bro. Appreciate that. Hopefully they got that recorded so I can check out. I remember I went to their, X and different things and looked into that. And I think I went to the Flare documentation as well and learned about them. Keston Sinclair said yes. Okay. All right. So let's do this. All right. Let's go just a little step by step, nothing really big. So first thing, you got your FLR, right? and Keston, you want to wrap your FLR, right? So you got wrapped FLR, right? Tuning in. Gary says tuning in, working and lurking. Much love. All right. So I like SparkDex. So if I have FLR, I'm going to wrap and delegate it. Right? I'm going to wrap and delegate. Let me get out of, yeah, let's disconnect this wallet. I had some issues trying to connect my Bifrost, but I'm just going to do. All right, so we're going to take some wrapped FLR. We got some wrapped FLR now, right? Right? It's important. You wrap and delegate the FLR, right? So let me connect. It's interesting. They got Phantom on and Rabby on there. Hey, small business doctor, I got out of that staking, bro. I went back to wrapping and delegating. I got out of that staking, fam. Got out of that. All right. So, couple of things with your FLR, your wrapped FLR you can do. Right. What I would do personally is I would take the wrap FLR and swap it to SFLR. That's what I would do. And I would have a 50-50 between SFLR and wrap FLR. That's what I would personally do, right? And I'm going to enter in this WFLR USDCE pool. So I think I'm going to enter this one. Yeah. So let's do this. Let's you go to swap here on SparkDex.ai. I like them. And I'm just gonna play around with, I don't know, $50, maybe $100 of stuff. Let me see something. Where's this bridged USDC? Here it is. Let's do. I don't know why it does that. Let me just do this. Waiting for it to populate here. Okay, well, let me type. All right, so that's just, it's kind of working there. So what I want to do is I'm going to do just something real simple here, just to show you how to navigate. Why doesn't it let me change down here? I don't like that. Like, you should be able to just change this number here, and it's not letting me do that. I don't like it. I mean, once it populates, you should be able to change both. So SparkDex gotta figure that one out. I'm just gonna go $50 into something. If I can get to 50. That's close enough. So a couple of things I would do. I would do WFLR into SFLR personally. Earn some extra stuff for SFLR, which is Scepter Slant Stake FLR. Right. The difference, And you notice the difference in the two here, right? Because I like the SFLR. I like the rewards that you get for the SFLR, and I can do other stuff with the SFLR as well. So I'm going to just do 50 bucks. It's not a lot. I'm just going to swap 50 bucks into here and confirm the swap. So now I have, not only do I have some WFLR, I also have some SFLR. Confirm it in the wallet. All right, so that's done. So now I have SFLR. You see here on the bottom, I have some SFLR and I have some WFLR, right? So what I'm going to do with this little nonsense here is I am going to go to the farm. Actually, I'm not in it with this wallet, am I? Nope. So I'm going to go to the SFLR, WFLR, and then I'll do the other liquidity pool. So go farm here. Again, the SFLR, the WFLR pool is a pool. It's essentially like two stable coins. I know the SFLR got the extra stuff to it and all that. I understand, but it's in terms of tracking, in terms of being in range and out of range, they're essentially the same thing. And again, for the not having to wake up in the morning and check whether I'm in range and checking the market and checking 2 or 3 times a day, relieving myself of that worry. I enjoy personally. I enjoy that personally, right? And I would rather build this up to, 10, 15K. I would rather build it up to that and just earn my 30%. Personally, I'm not telling you guys to do that. I'm just saying that's what I prefer for my personality, for my well-being, right? I would prefer to do that. So I'm going to click on that pool here. I'm going to click on it here, and I'm going to add this little thing here. Click the add button. So you saw, right? We got FLR. We want to wrap that FLR, right? Delegate, if that's what you want to do. And so you get your rewards, right? You want to get the delegation rewards, right? Wrap it. Now you're getting the flare drops. In addition to just having FLR, you're getting flare drops by wrapping it and delegating. Now you get the rewards, right? Nice little economy. So I'm just going to add some liquidity here. It's not much. I think the most it was 50 bucks. And so I'm going to be out of my test wallet. I've given SparkDex a certain measure of time to be working, to learn more about the team over there, to check out the UI and the UX, right? That's kind of my process. Who's this team? What are these pools? What's the UI and UX? Can I withdraw? Can I deposit and withdraw? Is it quick? Is it smooth? These are all part of the criteria for entering the liquidity pool, right? All the criteria for me. And I'm testing this over 30 days, over 60 days, over 90 days, right? Because the goal is to be in 9 months, 10 months, 12 months. For me, in the Crypto Seeds home, that's the goal, to be in the pool for extended periods of time, right? Not short term. All right. So here we got double-sided or single deposits. I always go double-sided. What we got going on here? 0.01. So you select your T fear. 1% selected 0.05. 40% selected 0.3. And nobody took the 1%. I'm just going to do 0.5 here, right? Now, you see this range strategy here? Who was asking about that? Was that Bank Money XRP was asking about that? Full range. You can see here, you see how it says risk and profit? Love this feature. Shout out to SparkDex. You see, it's very little risk, and not as much profit, but you're still earning, still a profit. Okay. Efficiency comparison, love that they got that here, where you can read about the differences in being in a safe, common, expert, which are more like concentrated liquidity pools, or a full range. And you got a little explanation. You can just click on this. Full range positions may earn less fees than concentrated positions. Learn more. And you just click that, Bank Money XRP, and you can learn the differences. I like concentrated liquidity pools, but I started DeFi just full range. Just full range and just learning, right? And basically my first learning was learning just how to navigate just inner liquidity pools, right? Before I went on the journey to understanding that being in DeFi is a skill set that you got to have. It's not just clicking buttons. There's a skill set. There's a learning, an education that's important to learning. All right. So there it is. And I just click, I understand. I'm not going to do full range though. I'm going to go save. Okay. I'm going to click save and just here on these save, common, and expert. You could change these if you want. You can change them based upon the liquidity pair that you're in. When you change them, the narrower you make it, the more efficient your capital is. Okay. The better bang for the buck, but the quicker you can be out of range. Remember, if you're out of range, you're not earning the fees. You go outside of this 20% to the downside, 40% to the upside, you're not earning the fees. You're not earning the fees, right? You're still earning the rewards because you're just in a liquidity pool, but the fees, I don't think you don't earn anymore. Not, I don't think you don't. So just understand that. And you can, once you learn pricing structure and all of that, and you can mess around more with these safe, common, and experts. There's just a little bit more of a skill set. You got to track the trend. You got to know prices. You got to be able to look at a trading chart, right? So most people, 9 out of 10 people should just be in full range. Because are you going to be going to DeFi Llama and getting on the correlation metrics? Are you going to get Gecko Terminal or Dex Screener and checking charts? Are you up for that and learning those skills? If you're not up for that and learning those skills at this moment in your life, you just hang out here in full range, right? Just hang out here in full range until you're up for that learning, right? This is what we teach in our Patreon, right? Unless you're up for that learning, just hang out in full range. Just hang out in full range, right? Get accustomed to Blair Network, get accustomed to SparkDex, right? Right? Just get accustomed to that kind of stuff and seeing what it looks like. The thing I did is I hung out full range for like 30 days, and then I added to the full range. So I start out with $50, then 30 days later, I add $50. 30 days later, I add $50, right? I'm just testing it out. I'm just hanging here in full range and I'm seeing what's good, right? I'm checking what's the difference between an SFLR, WFLR pool and WFLR and a stablecoin pool. What's the difference? How does it look? In full range, right? So I'm tracking that, right? I'm just testing the game, all right? I'm not chasing it with $1,000. I'm testing it. That's what I did years ago. Learning how to navigate. So why are you with small dollars here? It's a new platform. It's a new network. Right? On Orca and Turbos, we're not doing small amounts, right? Because those are not new platforms, right? Right. And right. So especially Orca, right? It's been around a minute, right? And so just got to understand that, right? Turbos is probably not the best example, like Uniswap V3, right? Been around for a minute, right? So Orca and Sui, we could go bigger. Platforms been around, people have been around longer, right? So you don't want to chase the game. You want to let the game come to you. Nothing wrong with $10, $20, 30 days at a time. Like nothing. Because it's learning. You're on a learning path. It's not chasing APR trying to get as much money. because if you chase these APRs, without knowing what you're doing, you're going to get yourself in trouble. Right. So if you want to adjust these ranges, you can do it here by just clicking on it and moving it. I would not do that unless you're learning, again, those other skills. But safe, I like safe here, and you can just add the liquidity there and kind of go from there. So the next step, again, most people will be, I would highly recommend just a full range. You ain't got to mess around with any of these ranges, and you would just add liquidity. But I'm going to just do safe. I'm not going to change any of these numbers. It doesn't matter for me because it's FLR. And I always get confused on which one I should do first. That'll let me do it. All right, so do the SFLR, max my FLR, that's $50. No, half my SFLR. Half my SFLR, it auto-populates the WFLR, and then you got to do approve twice. And I think they're working on just approve once, but it hasn't done that yet. So I'm going to approve the spending of SFLR, then we're going to improve the spending of WFLR. Oh, my thing's not open. Shit. All right, so SparkDex AI, click and confirm. You allow this app to access your SFLR. Do this on your Bifrost wallet. There it is. There's the green. Went from yellow to green. SFLR approved. Now you got to go to approve the WFLR. And the reason why, again, I say 10, $20 is you're not going to be in this panic mode about clicking the wrong button, right? You could do $1. I've done $1 and $2 on SparkDex just to show people. You can do $1, $2. This one, the other pools, you got to have like a minimum amount. Like if you go on Solana and stuff like that, you got to have like this minimum amount to enter pools, but not here, right? So then I'm going to approve the WFLR. I didn't know that. I forgot about the Drift protocol having a freaking token, man. I'm a little kind of upset because I was really on Drift protocol. I like Drift protocol in Solana. Anyway, so there it is. Both the approvals went through. Again, for early project with features and buttons and stuff to click, I like SparkDex. I really like what they got going on here. So I click add, then I click confirm. Again, it's not even $50. It's $40. But again, you could do $2, $5, and you just follow the steps that I did here without having to stress about what you're doing. Because again, I recommend you take this as a learning process. Not people trying to get wealthy, enter these liquidity pools, and you never enter liquidity pools. No, my friends, this is just learning. It's just learning, fam. It's just learning. Right? You got to be on a journey for months at a time. You got to be on a journey. That's why it's, I hear people, they get in the comments and they want to ask about how much money they can make. What they should be asking is, what are the skills I need to enter into liquidity pools? What type of learning? And where can I get the learning? You can get it by joining our Patreon. You can get the skills necessary, like how to enter and choose liquidity pools. It's patreon.com/GWW mastermind. So we're in the pool. You can see it here. And you can click manage there to see that it's there. So well, that's the 1, 2, 3, the ABC. The most important part, in my opinion, were the 6 kind of criteria for entering and choosing a liquidity pool. And so later today, I'm just gonna, well, let me do that now. Let me take some WFLR and go into the other pool that I like. So I go back to farm. I'm going to get into the WFLR and the bridged USDC. So first, so there's the pool here, right? WFLR, USDCE. So now let me make sure I have some USDE, which is bridged USDC from Stargate. If anybody wants to learn how to use the Stargate bridge, let me know in the freaking comments. I'll show you how to use it. So I don't have any. So I got to swap some more WFLR for some USDCE. All right, so I'm going to swap just $30 of WFLR for USDC.E, which is bridged, right? Swap that because I'm gonna need some USDC to enter in this liquidity pair. And again, another thing for me as well with SparkDex, we know that they're going to be doing an airdrop, and which is why I switched from my test wallet to my main wallet, because I know they're going to be doing an airdrop, and I would like to have as much liquidity, swapping bigger amounts, you know, that type of deal, right? So instead of doing $100 swap, doing, $500 swap, right? $1,000 swap. My experience in airdrop farming and in different ecosystems is the value of liquidity matters, the number of total transactions that you do matter, that type of things, 10 transactions is better than 1, 100 transactions is better than 10. $100 in a single transaction is better than $10 in a single transaction. $1,000 in a single transaction is better than $100 in a single transaction, right? So, so now we have some USDC, right? Bridged USDC.E, which is bridged Stargate USDC. So now we're going to go to farms. And we're going to find that liquidity pair. Do I want to go to DeFi Llama and check correlation real quick? Anyway, let's go here. I'll check it. It's probably not going to be correlated. Let's see. No, all right. So here's the liquidity pair, right? 0.05%. There's the rewards. APR for fees in and out, people coming in and out, liquidity pair is 9.8%. The rewards is 46%, total 55%, right? RFLR here. So I'm just going to add some liquidity to this one. And if you want to know how to use the DeFi Llama, stuff like that, just hang out in the Patreon. We'll go on that journey together from $1 a day to $10 a day to $20 to $50 a day to $100 a day to 4 figures a day in DeFi. So just click the add button here. Again, most important factor to consider are the assets, right? In my opinion. If I have $100 here, am I good with $100 in all USDC and $100 in all WFLR, right? So my answer to that question is yes. I'm cool with $100 being in all USDC or all WFLR, right? So risk and profit here, I love that they got that. APR, it says 56%, it's 4% a month, right? Little bit more labor intensive because you got to check whether or not you're in range if you go outside of the full range. If you go outside of the full range, which I am for this purposes, I'm going to go safe. I'm going to go here. and I'm going to check in to make sure I'm in range. So I'm just going to leave that safe there. I'm not going to, oh, shit. Safe. I'll leave that there. Minus 20%, plus 40%. Again, I'm good either way. If it goes to 100% USDC, if it goes 100% WFLR, I'm good either way. Right? So I am going to do, oh, let's see, 2020. So, oh, nice. They fixed that. Nice. Early days, yeah, you would still, every liquidity pool, you would still have to approve the WFLR spend. But no, now you don't like it. All right, so I'm just going to approve the USDC. So with this particular wallet and this particular pool, I have not done that, so I have to do it. Confirm it. Close. It has been approved. There it is. SparkDex. Nice and gradual improvements. I like what they got. I'm telling you, I'm a big fan. I'm just saying. So I'm going to add liquidity. Again, not a lot. Confirm. So my personal strategy for SparkDex, my personal strategy for SparkDex, because I know about the airdrop thing that they're going to be doing. They just announced it. My personal strategy is going to be the number of transactions and the value in those transactions going from 10 to 100 to 1,000. And so I added the liquidity, right? I already hit that liquidity. All right, close. And now you can see that pair. I will not be doing the volume high, not volume, the value high in the liquidity pairs. I won't be doing that personally. I won't be doing the liquidity pairs unless I do SFLR, WFLR. Right. So if I want to do 1,000 or a couple thousand, I would do it personally, I would do it in the SFLR, WFLR, if I was to go to that amount. What I will be doing is taking advantage of transaction and volume once a day is, for example, I could do a max transaction of my WFLR into USDCE, right? That's a transaction. And let's say that transaction, if I'm gonna hit max here, let's say it's $500. I don't know what it is. All right, so this says it's $800. So that's a transaction, right? And it's 800 in value or volume, right? Right? And I could come back tomorrow and make a swap from the USDC back into WFLR. You understand? That's two transactions at an $800 value, right? And someone could do that once a day, right? It's one of the strategies I use is WFLR into stable coins, right? On Monday. On Tuesday, stable coin in the WFLR, right? On Wednesday, you understand? That's one thing you could do as a strategy. I don't know yet about 4K in a liquidity pool. Don't know yet. I'm not saying I won't. I'm just saying I don't know yet if I would do that strategy personally. So yeah, you lose a little bit in transaction fees doing that, but what are the transaction fees? Right? And you got to check your slippage when you're doing swaps. Got to pay attention to the slippage. But other than that, that's what, kind of what I would be doing. That's not what I'll be doing. That is what I will be doing for SparkDex. Personally, I like SparkDex. And my hunch is early days, good features, good UI, good UX, good team, kind of how I'm seeing it. So it's worth my time and effort to participate in SparkDex. Thanks, Siege. I have much to learn still. You're welcome, Bank Money XRP. What's going on? The Muskegon Aristocrats in the building. How are you? Bank Money XRP said, I put $600 in the SFLR jewel pool. Gotcha. No ideas what I'm doing. I'm learning as I go. The cost of my education. I hear you, my friend. I hear you. Just wanted to say that I truly appreciate your time that you freely offer to the community. You are appreciated, sir. Thank you, my friend. And I'm glad to do it, bro. Thanks, Gary says most of us bank money perks new asset class. Got it. So there that is there, guys. I hope that helped you. Thanks, Gary says staking FLR and getting SFLR isn't good. That's a question mark. Personally, I think that's good. I'm not telling you guys to do it, but I think that's good. Oh, you're saying as opposed to just going to SparkDex. I'm not saying that it's not good. I would personally rather take WFLR and go to SparkDex and swap it to SFLR. I'm not saying it's not good to use Scepter and just go directly to Scepter. You know, they got the timing thing going on there. They got these dates when you can, which is open now, by the way. You know, they got this time frame that you can go take your WFLR or FLR to Scepter. They got this little, 2-3 week window, whatever it is, but then they don't have that window anymore. So I just use SparkDex. SparkDex has the SFLR. I just use that and I go there. You still get the benefits of having SFLR. Yeah, no worries. Bank Money XRP, right? We're all learning. We're all learning for sure. So I kind of like that. I mean, there's other things you can do with SFLR, but my main point to that is I like having SFLR. I like having wrapped FLR and SFLR. I really enjoy those. There's just massive benefits to having those. Yeah, so you still get the rewards if you swap to SFLR because you have SFLR. So that's kind of right. I'm pretty sure that's correct, right? And so I like that. But my personal thing is I'm trying to get as many transactions on SparkDex and as much volume on SparkDex personally. That's kind of my thing. And we'll see if that's going to work out. You don't know if it's going to work out or not. There's no promises. But that's kind of where I'm at there. And right now I'm just loving the UI, the UX experience, all of that kind of stuff. I'm kind of liking that for sure. When you do your FLR and you go to Scepter, FLR wrapped, FLR, go to Scepter, you got the SFLR and Scepter, you gotta, kind of go some other places to use it. And one of those places is probably going to be SparkDex. It might be Kinetic as well. Kinetic is awesome. Borrowing lending over there is awesome as well. Thanks, Gary says, are you playing with the jewel pair? I am not personally messing with that currently. But if I would be swapping at least 50% of the jewel token to something else, to FLR. I would personally, I'm not saying that's the best strategy. I'm saying my assessment of the assets, I grade it the FLR more because I just have a long-term perspective. But I do think having some Joule tokens can be beneficial, especially if you really like some people. There's going to be people in the Flare community who maybe are higher on Kinetic than they are on SparkDex or that they are on Scepter, right? And so if you have a greater value in the Kinetic thing, you know, that's a good liquidity pair to get into, right? So because the rewards are in the Joule token. So I don't know enough of the tokenomics behind Joule as well. I don't know enough. So for now, that most of my knowledge is on FLR. So I'm hanging in that ecosystem, if that makes sense. All right, fam. Right? So that's kind of how that is there, right? So, right, I just got like Flare network is further along in my journey of not chasing the game, let the game come to me, right? Kinetic is not as far along in that journey. And that's kind of one of the things I use to kind of assess stuff. And there's, you know, there's a thing as well where you could portfolio manage something, right? You could do 90% in Flare and 10% in Kinetic's ecosystem, right? You could do something like that. You could do 70% in Flare and 30% in Kinetic ecosystem. You understand? Right? So it doesn't have to be 100% in one and then no percent in the other. It doesn't have to be that at all. Right? So I probably would take some of my WFLR, get SFLR and Joule, and put some of it in that particular thing so that I'm not missing out on something, right? That's just all part of risk portfolio management, right? Right. Like a lot of times, like we say on the channel, a lot of times and is better than or, right? In fact, let me just do that now. So I'm talking about it. Should I do that? Let's see. See what I'm saying? I could go to SparkDex and I don't have that much left anyway. Joule, Joule. Now my guy Steve, like he knows more about the Kinetic ecosystem, right? He knows more than I do. Right? I could do gee whiz. I could do something like that. It's just $20, right? I could do anything, right? Swap $20. WFLR for Joule, then I got to do WFLR for some SFLR. Swap, get some Joule. Slippage 0.3%. Boy, oh boy. 0.3% slippage. I may need to change I have to look at my slippage here in a second. It's thinking about it. I ain't seeing price impacts. Joule's at 6 cents right now. And WFLR is 1 cent. Oh, I know what I keep forgetting, man. Yeah, my phone is like quick to. So the live stream went out a little bit, right? The live stream went out there, fam. It went out. The live stream went back. Hopefully we're back. Are we back? I think we're back. I think we're back. Back in action, says Gary. Legendary says we're back. All right. Let's see here. Do I have Jewel? So now I have some Jewel. Do I have any SFLR left? Yeah, I think I do. All right. So we can enter that pool. Remember, in the liquidity pool to get some Jewel, if you're using some of that SFLR, you just got to understand that part as well. So let's go here. SFLR Jewel. Let's see if we can add any kind of little liquidity. What we got going on here? What is this? Oh no, there's a different way to enter this liquidity pool. And I can't remember because it's the steer thing, and it's like there's a manual and see, it shows that I don't have any there. I can't remember how to enter this liquidity pool because I noticed like this little thing you have to do here, like a manual and a whatever. I don't have an approval going on. It says Jewel LP. Yeah, it's something about automatic and manual on this pool that you have to do. And see, I don't have any options here. It won't let me add any. Oh, I just hit add. What happens? I saw my guy Steve going through this. Okay, so all I did was click add there. Was there an automatic option? So hit automatic. See what happens if I do automatic. Some people are saying you hit something and it took you to a different page completely. Application error. See the browser console for it. All right, so we can't do that now. But I know Steve went over it with everybody on his YouTube channel. You guys should follow him on YouTube as well, because he goes like a step-by-step for that particular pool. And I know it's like one or two other things that you have to do. It worked, differently on your phone than it did on the computer. And then there was something about the manual and automatic. I'll have to watch that again to do that. So let me do this. Until I get that done. Because there's a staking. I'm going to swap this back until I understand that part. All right. So did that. It's asking me to approve it twice. We'll see. I need to do that, confirm. I go back, I had to approve Jules twice. There that is. Yeah, once I learn that, I will enter into that pool and show you guys. All right, cool. I just wanted to see that. All right, guys, there it is. Oh, small business. Oh, you are here, my friend says. Automatic. You must hit automatic instead of manual. Got it. Then go to stake back in the farm screen. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Well, I just swapped out of it though. Okay. I see right here. It says staked. All right. Got it. Well, I got a client message on there right now. But anyway, then go to do LP pool pairing, select automatic, then go back to farming. All right. So I'm gonna what I'm gonna do is do this, and I'll probably watch a video also, and then I'll do it live. I'll do it live for everybody. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate that, small business doctor. Farming screen and stake the LP pair to start earning Jewel. Got it. So interesting. Yeah. So, again, I was 100% Flare ecosystem, and no reason why I can't go, take 10% and go into that liquidity pair with Jewel and check that out, or maybe 30%, 20%. Just some strategies. All right, family. Thank you so much for checking in. Small Business Doctor, thanks for your help, brother. I appreciate it. Legendary, take care, brother. I appreciate you guys checking in. As always, I'm going to end this live stream like I do all my live streams and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and we're already winning. And I would ask you to consider this, or perhaps ponder the idea or notion of living your life permissionless. I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya. Bye.